Hi, my name is Britt Hedlund, and this is Module 4, Understanding My Community. I work for USD 361 Chaparral Schools at the high school. Chaparral Schools is made up of two towns, Anthony and Harper in South Central Kansas, and the school is located right in between the two. It's a 3A high school, and it was formed, I think, back in the late 1970s. It became one school. Before it was Chaparral, Anthony had their own high school, and so did Anthony and Harper both had their own high schools. So Chaparral Schools has a vision to inspire innovation and excellence for student success. We have a strong music and band program. Both we have successful sports teams, which is kind of a new thing that's been, we've turned around some athletics and we've got successful sports. We have some strong leadership within our coaching staff. We have really strong community development at Chaparral. We have parents that are involved, industry that's involved, and we have both towns are really involved with our school district and attend events and support teachers and support clubs. So we have a great community that we work with. We have strong post-secondary relationships. We have programs with WSU Tech and Pratt Community College. And then we have a couple different colleges that our students use for online learning. We also have really innovative and forward thinking leadership. Our superintendent is super forward thinking and does a great job of leading us and is always striving to be better. We have strong forensics and debate programs. We work hard to make sure all students are plugged in. So we have clubs and organizations for every student. And one of our building goals is to make sure that students are involved and get plugged in within clubs if they're not in sports or forensics or band and music. Another goal that we have is to build good relationships with all our students. We're capturing kids' heart school, so relationships are a priority, and understanding all of our learners is important to us. And we do have a strong staff that encourage academic success at all levels. Harper County is located right in south central Kansas, right in the middle of the state. It's on the Oklahoma border, 12 miles actually from the Oklahoma. In July of 21, our population was 5,331. So it's not a huge county with a high population, but we are comprised of three towns, Anthony, Attica, and Harper. Attica has their own school district, and I do work there as well. It's a 1A school, and then Chaparral's the 3A school in the county. So our county has two districts, even though we only have 5,000, a little over 5,000 population. 90.7% of our population has a high school diploma. But only 16.4% have a bachelor's degree or higher, which I find interesting. We actually have a declining population, and we have a high percentage of elderly. We're 50-50 with males and females. Harper County is a strong agricultural community. We also have a lot of manufacturing. We have a great hospital. We have a new hospital, Patterson Health Center, which is located right by our high school. And our population is 90% white and 7% Hispanic, which I think seems a little bit low. I think we have a higher Hispanic population than that. We have a lot of students and community members from Central America. Our median household income is just under $50,000. We have a high poverty rate. We have 13.2% poverty rate, which is 2% higher than the national average. I couldn't find the statistic exactly anywhere, but we have high free and reduced lunches. I think around 65% of our students receive free and reduced lunches. So, poverty is kind of a big deal in Harper County, and I'll talk more about that later, what we're doing to work on that. Communication. Our school has improved on communication a lot. This is something that I've seen a big change in, something that needed to change. And we use a lot of different avenues. Our school system is skyward, so we use Skylerts, which we can type in to a group or to the whole school. We can send out Skylerts via text and email. We use social media, Facebook and Twitter. Our school does have a website that people look at sometimes. We have a school newspaper. We send emails. And then within our school, a lot of our clubs and sports teams and groups use the Band app. Some use the Remind app, but Band is becoming a little more popular. Within our community, we have a website called Harper County Strong that we formed during COVID, that a bunch of people, leaders in our community, came together and started meeting to discuss, issues related with COVID and what was happening in our community. So we have that website where the entire community can go and learn more about what's going on. We still use newspaper a lot, and then our community relies on social media as well. At the school level, I feel like the weekly newsletter that our counselors sends out is effective. Updated social media posts is the quickest and easiest way to get things out. Email goes out, but I don't feel like it's received as well. The Band app is pretty effective for daily communication and for like quick updates with sports teams or groups that meet at the school. Effectiveness, I believe, and our school kind of sees this too, that our social media, our Skylerts, that go out as texts, and the apps work best for parents. Like, they seem to communicate the best through social media and Skylerts and those apps. They don't respond well to email for some reason. But then for our community, especially for the elderly, the newspaper works the best. But people in the community do rely on the newspaper and the website a little bit more. I think, but again, I think parents do better with social media, and I think like the older generation does better with newspaper. Our community groups, like I said, our community is super involved in our school, and we have a lot of groups within our community. Our parent group is the Big Bluebackers, and they do a ton to help our school athletics and clubs and organizations, and really promote our school in a positive way. We have a group of parents that put on a fifth quarter after football games and basketball games. That did come to a stop during COVID, and we haven't got that going again, but I foresee that coming back next year. We have a really strong community foundation called the Harper County Community Foundation that awards grants twice a year. And they have a big board, and I'll talk more about that foundation later. We have a group in Harper County. As I mentioned, our poverty rate is high, and we have a group that I'm also involved in called Harper County Core Community, and they meet every Monday night, and they're just working really hard and diligently to end poverty in Harper County. So we meet monthly or weekly, and with our core leaders, the members of our group who are working to get out of poverty, and we're just building resources and teaching and growing together. We bring in what some people might call mentors, we call friends, that come in and form relationships. So from the middle class, so we're working together and we're teaching each other. Middle class learns from poverty, poverty learns from middle class. It's a great organization that's doing a lot of work in our community. We have Hope, which is our local churches. That is a resource that for people when they need help, like quick financial help, they can call Hope. We have Harper County Strong that I talked about earlier, that was kind of formed during COVID in order to bring the community together and get better communication out there, and just kind of combine efforts, and not like reinventing the wheel around things. We have a health foundation that also gives out grants and works to promote health in our community. And then we have 4-H clubs that are pretty active in our community and put on our county fair and stuff like that. So we have a lot of community groups. that are very active. As far as leadership in our community, I kind of feel like our county commissioners would be strong leaders in our community. We have a Harper County Development person who does it's like she really does economic development, and we work closely with her, but she works hard to keep businesses coming and working with our both cities and our county commissioners to promote our county in a positive way. Both the city of Anthony and the city of Harper have excellent city administrators who really value our relationship with the school and their relationship, and who work hard to make our communities better, and they work well together as administrators. Um, we have a community foundation that I spoke of that gives out grants. Their members are very influential in our community. And then we have a great sheriff's department that would be included in strong leadership in our communities. Economically, like I said, we're an agriculture, rural county, lots of farmers and ranchers that really make the base of Harper County. We have strong manufacturing. We have several manufacturers that employ probably 300 to 400 people in our community. We have a brand new hospital that was purchased through the Neil Patterson Foundation, and it's a great facility that employs a lot of people, local people. Then, of course, COVID-19 did impact our county economically in good and bad ways. One thing we saw was people moving into Harper County from the cities, or like Wichita and a few other cities even far away, who wanted to just have a rural lifestyle. So we did see a slight increase in like the home property evaluations, and we saw some people moving in. In the past, we had an oil boom. I can't remember what year that was, but we had an oil boom that brought a lot of people and oil companies into the area. It drove up the prices of homes and rent. And then after a few years, it crashed, and it left a lot of our homeowners with high mortgage payments and then low valuations. So that was kind of hard. We do have a lack of good housing in our communities. When people want to move in, when our local manufacturers are trying to hire new people, it's hard to bring them in because we don't have good housing. We have a lot of low income housing, but even that is not great. So that's something that we've been working on. And another thing that we don't have in our community are local contractors. So we don't have people that can build houses, or we have a few like small businesses that will do fixer uppers a little bit, but we are an hour from Wichita, so we have to get licensed contractors from other areas like Wichita. Politically, again, I feel like our commissioners, our Harper County commissioners, we have 3 commissioners. I feel like they are, a strong voice politically, as well as our mayors and our city administrators work very well with the mayors. And then both cities have city council members that are very active and helpful as well politically. Social tensions. So we do kind of have some tension right now in our local school board. There's kind of some mistrust, and it's kind of been a hard year with our school board. So that would be one thing that I would say causes tension. It causes tension between parents. It causes tension with staff because they don't trust our board right now. So that's been a hard thing going on this year. And then what I have on the screen is a picture of our courthouse. And I'm not originally from this area, so I'm kind of like move in. And a lot of the younger leadership in our community is not originally from here either. So we're seeing this problem go away. But way back in the day, when they decided to build this courthouse, rumor has it that they built it in Anthony, and it made Harper and the other community Attica mad, and it started this tension because they were mad that Anthony got the courthouse. Well, then they built, so there was kind of like always a rival between Anthony and Harper high schools. Then they built the high school in between the two towns, and that rivalry has kind of carried on. And just within the last 5 or 6 years, I kind of feel like the newer, younger leadership, the more forward thinking, is kind of getting rid of that. But it has been a tension. The two towns kind of like just bicker at each other and are competitive against each other in other ways. But I feel like it's getting better, and that's kind of going away. But that has been the past. It's been really strong tensions between the two towns. Another thing that causes some tension in our communities are the families in poverty. They don't always get looked upon the right way, and they don't feel like they have a voice. So that's another reason why core communities is so important, is that we're teaching these families in poverty that they do have a voice, and we're bringing community together to do assessments every 6 months, community assessments where everybody has a seat at the table, middle class, leadership, school board members, community members, that we're teaching the whole community that change does not happen unless everybody has a seat at the table. So, and that goes along with our Hispanic population. We have a high amount of people from Central America living here, and they don't always feel like they have a voice. And I wouldn't say they are segregated at all, but they do kind of segregate themselves away. So that kind of causes some tension sometimes. And I feel like the families in poverty and the Hispanic population don't always feel welcome. So we're working to fix that with the groups like core communities, and our economic developers really strong in that too. And then at the school, sometimes we see tension between like sports and academics. Like if you're not out for sports, sometimes that gets looked down upon, and if that means, and sometimes like it kind of causes academics to go to get like less stress. And then sometimes our fine arts get frustrated because our students now are really taking a lot more college classes and becoming more individualized in their education, and they're not utilizing some of our fine arts programs as much. So I think that sometimes causes tension as well. Community efforts we are so blessed because we have this community foundation that I spoke about, and every 6 months it gives out about $1 million worth of grants to organizations in the community. Our school benefits from that. We have teachers write grants for, AR parties or field trips, and they support a lot of technology within our school when we can't afford it. And then other programs around the community, cities get grants, rec commissions get grants. We have a strong rec commission in both towns that are part of a league that with small rural communities around here. So we work hard to get kids involved in rec sports early and get them as part of a team and community. Like I said, we have Harper County Strong that's going well. We've had a few bond elections. The most recent one that I can think of did not go well. We don't have a tornado shelter at our high school, and we only have one gym. And sometimes that hinders us from doing things that bring people to our community and grow our economy. So they did have a bond several years ago to try to get another gym and a tornado shelter, and that did not pass. So that's kind of been something that causes tension too. Another thing that's been a successful community effort but did cause tension, I didn't mention earlier, was in 2016, we joined the junior high and the senior high. Previous to that, both grade schools, so Anthony has a grade school and Harper has a grade school, and both of those grade schools had their own junior highs, and were in a different league and they played each other. But in 2016, we moved the junior high out to Chaparral, in order to give the students more electives and just a better education, actually. And it's gone very well. It was, like I said, it caused tension at the beginning, but I feel like it's gone very well, and our students are doing well and thriving. And so I think our community is learning that it was the right move. Um, we have the new hospital that took a lot of community effort to get um, those separate hospitals brought together into one, because both communities had a hospital, Anthony and Harper, and now we just have one located right by our high school, and um, it's a wonderful building. It's used for a lot of things. The community uses it for meetings and farmers markets, and they do a great job of working with our high school and just anything we need. So, but that did leave existing buildings in both towns that they're trying to do something with. We have a nice little 9-hole golf course that brings people to our community from surrounding smaller towns, and then we have a cute little lake where people, especially during COVID, that really grew, and people spend a lot of time out at the lake in the summers, camping and fishing, and it's a nice little lake. I don't know a lot about the power structure, but again, I would just say that our commissioners have a lot of power, um, and they do a good job. I think parents who are active in the school and who make it a point to be part of our school, I feel like they have a lot of power, and then our school board also has a lot of power. Multicultural issues. Like I said, we have a strong population of Hispanics, and so that makes us have a strong ESL program. We have several paras that speak Spanish and do a really good job of being involved in the Hispanic community and culture, and they work to build trust between that community and our high school, and I think they do a really good job. We have a flex mod schedule, so we have instructional learning time where students can sign up to do the things that they want to do or get extra help with their work. And during those instructional learning times, we are working to build relationships, between cultures and groups. And so that's been fun. Our sports teams are super inclusive, but then we also have uh, a soccer team that's just mainly Hispanics that community really supports and loves to be a part of. Recently, we started student-led leadership groups at Chaparral, and we have 3 different groups right now. And basically, we're just building leaders within these groups, and we're letting them decide how they want to lead and where they want to lead and what they want to do. We have servant leadership, then we have some other leadership programs, mental health, but the main focus is that they are student led, and that like I lead one, and basically I let them figure out what they want to lead and where they want to lead, but then I teach them how to be good leaders, and that they're always let them know that they're always influencing others. So that's been a big help to our school, I believe, and community. Public opinion. I would say that this is something that has also gotten better with, like, along with the communication in our school district. Um, in the past, I don't really know that the school was always perceived as the best, but I think it's changing for the better. And I think one thing that has really helped is the program that I'm in charge of, and that's the transition to career program. Um, I think that starting that program and me acting as a liaison between the community and the school has really built trust, and we've been able to work strongly with all of the businesses and industry in our communities. We bring speakers out to the high school, and then we put students out in the community in job shadows and internships. So it's shown the community what we're doing, and it's given them a glimpse of the things that the students learn and the things that are important to our community, like work skills and keeping um, kids wanting to come back to Harper County to work. That has been very a positive change and a relationship builder for our community with the school. And then our school also has become very aware of the importance of promoting all of the good things that we're doing on social media and really getting our community involved in those and inviting them to be a part of the things at the school. Our sports teams, they get a lot of community support, but then we're seeing more support for like our debate and forensics and band and things like that. So that's fun to see. So this assignment gave me information about the importance of knowing and understanding the community, how it fits into the school, and how to use this information to understand students better and to promote student success. It helped me practice the skill by looking at my own community and correlating what I know about the community into how the school is managed and run. So relevant to learning because I do want to use every resource available to me in order to be a good building leader. I know I have to be able to understand and work within the community. And this assignment helped me to see the importance of knowing the entire community, not just the parts that are active in the school district. So as I looked back on the assignment and reflected, I realized there's a lot of things about the community that I'm really not familiar with that do make a big difference to our school environment. I really didn't think about politics and power structures as much as something that influence student learning, but it absolutely does. And I know this is all knowledge that I will use to be an effective leader. And it will be a priority for me to the first thing that I do is to learn more about the community in which I work and really understand how it works, not just know it. These are my references. I used our school website, I used the Harper County Strong website, and I used the US Census Bureau website. So I really enjoyed learning more about my community. I really enjoyed figuring out where the things that I need to learn more about fit into the school district. And I thought this was a great assignment. So thanks for listening.